Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Saviors, coming off of a lifeless. I don't know if you can lose 31-28, but it felt lifeless to me.
Yes.
31-28 lifeless performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers, losing to the Bears. The Bears now are 8-3 up top of the NFC North, and now there's a new team up top in the AFC North as well, as the Ravens win, and they're now tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers at 6-5. And they currently have the tiebreaker. So the Steelers are no longer in first place after having a strong lead. I think we had the Ravens at 1-5, and we were 4-1.
4-1. Yeah.
So only took what, 6 weeks? And, now we're sitting at 6-5. And if the outlook for this division is pretty much shattered, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, they play the Ravens twice. You win those two, maybe you win it more easily than I'm expecting, but I just don't see that happening. I see them splitting at best. They're going to be up and down. We've talked about it off and on, but today, just like I said, lifeless is the way I describe it. Even though they were able to score 28 points, defense did score a touchdown of their own. Yeah. Overall, though, it just didn't feel good. I don't think the Bears are that 8-3 is 8-3. But this was a winnable game for sure.
Oh, 100% it was winnable. I mean, and, the Steelers are up at one point, I mean, they get the lead. I mean, of course, their first drive is the first drive. This is how the Steelers always are with something. But, they could have easily won this game. They just failed to make any plays. I mean, the offense just couldn't get moving at all. I mean, I don't know. Arthur Smith's offensive playbook is just it reminds me of Matt Canada. It's just short, like slants, little out route, or like little just out routes, little screens, things like that. And of course, Mason took a couple shots down the field, but there's just nothing deep. There's nothing going for the offense.
There was just no trust in the line.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
no trust in Mason, no trust in the line to give him time. Either way you want to spin it. And they took 3 or 4 shots, and Rudolph is usually, that's one of his strengths as a player, is to throw the deep ball. He could not hit anyone today on those passes. But yeah, you're right. The offense just the Dinkin and Duncan. I did not expect that coming into the game. They did run the ball well in their defense. Go through the stats, I guess. We'll go through them a little earlier today, just to
So again, final scores. Steelers lose to the Bears 31-28. Total yards, Steelers had 345 total yards to the Bears 328. Pass yards, Steelers had 159 to the Bears 229 pass yards. Rush yards, Steelers put almost 100 yards more on the ground over the Bears. It was Steelers had 189, which I haven't seen a rushing number like that in a long time.
Yeah,
Steelers put up 189 rush yards. The Bears only had 99. Yards per play were about the same. Steelers had 5 yards per play. Bears were 5.4 yards per play. First downs were about the same. Steelers had 22. Bears at 19. Third down efficiency, again, about the same. Steelers went 8 for 14 on third down, which they're usually a lot worse than this, but they were able to move the ball a little bit better on third down today. Bears went 7 for 13. Fourth down, Steelers were 1 for 3 on fourth down. To the Bears, and the Bears went for it, and they got it, which I might have that backwards actually, but I think the Steelers were 1 for 4 or 1 for 3, and the Bears were 1 for 1. Total plays, Steelers had 69 total plays to the Bears 61. Punts were about the same. Steelers punted the ball 3 times to the Bears 4 times. There were 2 turnovers by each team. The Bears fumbled twice. The Steelers fumbled once and threw an interception, which we got lucky because there was a couple plays that Mason threw a couple passes that could have been an interception. But there were also some plays where the Steelers should have had some interceptions. Yeah. There was definitely some drop balls. Here's a big one, time possession. Steelers went 33 minutes and 9 seconds, which they haven't really won the time possession game this year. I think this might be only their second game this year with having a higher time possession. The Bears were 26 minutes and 51 seconds, and here's one big one I saw today, the red zone stats. Each team went 3 for 3 in the red zone today. So that is your stats for this game. You take it for how you want to take it from there.
Yeah, I just clarify with you. Yeah, you're right. Steelers were 1-3. The Bears were 1-1.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That you mentioned the time of possession, but if you're out rushing a team 186 to 99,
yeah.
Even if you take out the big gain from Gainwell,
yeah,
52 yards, they're still getting about 50 more yards than rushing this game.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird game. Mason didn't play well. He ended up with 1 interception, 1 fumble, only 171 yards on 24-31. But I mean, I and I'm not a Mason guy, but I just feel like it was just the way the game plan today, the play calling today just was shaky. Gainwell ends up with 10 carries for 92 yards. Warren ends up with 18 carries for 68 yards, a touchdown. DK Metcalf actually had 2 carries himself and he got a touchdown. It was more of like a swing pass that happened to be behind the line, behind the line. So it ended up being a running play. Receiving yard wise, it was the leading receiver. It was 36 yards.
Jeez.
Which was Kelvin Austin. Gainwell had 30 yards. Darnell Washington, after his big game last week, 2 catches, 22 yards. DK Metcalf, only 5 catches for 22 yards. It's 4.4 yards per catch from your guy. You're paying a lot of money to be a game breaker, and it's just not happening lately. The long on this game was Ben Skoronek's 1 catch for 21 yards.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith added 3 for 21. Pat Freiermuth 3 for 19. So they got the ball to a lot of guys, but they did not produce anything great between the 7 guys who caught passes today. It was just a lackluster game. I just felt when you see a 31-28 final score, you're expecting that was a good game to watch. It was a very back and forth game, but it just wasn't entertaining. I don't know if you have a different feel on it, but that's how I took away from it.
I feel the same way. I mean, even with you reading the stats for the yards per catch for this team, I mean, that just goes to show the type of routes and plays that they were doing. Like only getting 4 yards per catch. I mean, and only getting a couple catches, but that was what the offense was doing. I mean, like you said earlier, they had no trust in the offensive line and in Mason this whole game. I mean, the fact that that's how the offensive scheme was today, that's just what it was. The defensive side of the ball, I mean, again, they made same story. It's the same thing, They made a couple plays getting, 2 fumbles in that game, but
only 1 sack.
1 sack by TJ Watt. Yeah, that's it. And there was really not much. I mean, there was some pressure on Caleb Williams, but he was still able to get out of the way and be able to still make the plays down the field to throw the ball. The Steelers still have the middle of the field open. I don't know what type of scheme or whatever Terrell Austin is doing with this defense, but they're getting torched in the middle of the field. It just, and then leaving guys wide open, to score easy touchdowns. I don't get it. There was a lot of penalties in that game, which I didn't even get to that one. I forgot to even mark that one down, but there was a bunch of penalties in that game that happened on both sides of the field and both teams. It was sloppy. It was like you said, there was no trust in the offensive line, no trust in Mason. Defense, the same old thing. That's just who the Steelers have become this season.
Yeah, here's from James Toomey. Poor coaching, bad play calling.
Yeah,
I agree. Looking at the Bears and watching them play at 8-3, Caleb Williams is not very accurate, but they constantly scheme guys open. Ben Johnson just is a good coach.
Yeah.
And it's an X and O's kind of thing where he just is good. Tomlin, the big thing with him is supposed to be the player's coach, like the motivational type. And you mentioned a couple times during the game that he just didn't seem to have any emotion himself either. It was a weird game. It was
every time the camera was on him, he's just standing there. I mean, your team is down at one point, and it's they're down by 10 at one point. Why are you not over there talking to your quarterback? Why are you not talking to the defense? Why are you not talking to what are you doing? Just standing on the sideline. There's no motivation. There wasn't any motivation that we saw until it was the end of the game where they score a touchdown and you see him go, yeah, like that. But there was nothing else in that game. And I don't know what is going on, with him. But lately when they do show him, there is no motivation by him. He just stands there on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've had it through the seasons where we're like we think it's time to move on. I think I'm over that at that point. I don't think it's going to happen for one, and two. I think he's got a life contract.
Yeah,
we're the same.
But yeah.
This just like went back to the last couple of times we've had the complaints. It just felt like that. Maybe this is the first step in a stretch because they got the Bills next week, then they got to deal with the Ravens. They do get a little bit of a break with the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have actually been playing a little better. But maybe we do go and lose these next two, get to 6-7, and it starts to become one of those another season of it's time to move on from Tomlin. But
yeah,
you have him ready to go. Let's see what he had to say post game.
All right.
Ooh, 1 second.
You know, I thought it was a hard-fought game. Certainly got to compliment Coach Johnson and the Bears, man, on a winning performance. Like I just told the team, man, it's tight when it's good on good, particularly when you're in a hostile environment. Any number of plays could have changed the outcome of the game, and that's why we just got to live every down singularly in all three phases, knowing that. And I think today was a very good illustration of that. I thought, you know, we could have had better field position with our kickoff team, for example. We had more timely punting with our punt team. Thought we started the second half slow. I think we had 2 3-and-outs on offense. I thought our defense could have smiled in the face of adversity better. In the first half in particular, I think we got stopped on 4th down. They scored a touchdown. We turned the ball over. They scored a touchdown. And I think if we're going to be good, you got to make people settle for field goals or less under those circumstances. And so we're all responsible. We know that. That game is an illustration of that. It's just tight when it's good on good. And we didn't make enough plays and enough sequences, as I mentioned, to be successful.
They must have a flight to catch or something. It's still just not there. It's not there.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's weird. I don't know.
This we all know we messed up. We got to take responsibility. Where is the responsibility you're taking?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything. You're not changing anything. Nothing has changed. They win a game that they shouldn't win, and then they lose a game they shouldn't lose. They do this every fucking season. And it's been like this the past few seasons. I don't understand what he's talking about. There's no like fire in the way he's talking. It's just like, you know, you could tell it's like he doesn't want to be there almost.
Yeah, it's weird. He just said a bunch of different phrases in a row there. Maybe we get some fire here in these questions. Hopefully there's some kind of fire.
Hopefully.
DK had an ankle. You saw him go back in. Joey Porter's got a hip flexor. He wasn't able to return. Broderick Jones had stingers, I think. I don't have any further description of that. I think he'll be examined for further information. Questions?
You talked about the decision to not use Aaron, and could he be ready by next week?
I anticipate him being ready for next week. It was a prudent decision to make. Certainly it wasn't a fluid week for him. It was a fluid week for Mason in terms of reps and so forth. And so I think it'll be in our rear view as we move forward. I'm hopeful of that.
Did Aaron say he was ready to play today?
Aaron always wants to play.
Mike, did you make that decision this morning?
Yesterday.
Mike, you had a chance to go up 10 in the first half. Why did you want to go for it on 4th and 1?
Because if you can't make it on 4th down and 1, man, oftentimes you don't deserve to win.
What are some of the factors that next week you think will be different for Aaron than this one? Is it just the snaps and the amount he was able to play, or physically?
Certainly, just on the surface level, the amount he will be able to work next week.
Mike, overall, your thoughts on Mason's performance?
You know, I thought he was game. He always is. He made plays for us, particularly in the 4th quarter. But as a collective, him included, we didn't do enough to win.
Does Mason's play dictate whether or not Rodgers starts next
I'll
week?
talk to you guys about next week. I'm here to analyze what just transpired.
Did you debate on going for it on 4th down with 2 minutes left in the game?
I did not. I was holding all 3, and as you can see, we got the ball back.
Anyone else?
Mike, what made middle of the field so tough to defend against Chicago for a number of those series?
You know, I thought they just did a nice job, man. You got to give those guys credit. There's some time in inside breaking routes, man. The quarterback was highly accurate on play pass, turning his back to the defense. And, and coming up and throwing. And sometimes you got to give credit to the opponent, and I certainly do in this instance.
What went into James Pierre starting over Slay?
Again, he got a quality week's work. When you're going into tough competitive circumstances, sometimes you base decisions on preparation and who gets the looks. And certainly, as we mentioned and talked about over the last several weeks, James Pierre has been playing well. We'll see what holds for next week.
Like, if you had a timeout that last play, would you have thought about dropping Boswell out there? But since it was,
I'm not into the hypothetical world.
Before we forget about that, how you were very about the idea of Boswell kicking that, right?
Yeah, I was. Listen, I mean, the clock's running out. You have no timeouts. They throw this fucking stupid ass slant twice in the middle of the fucking field. Not even try to get out of bounds. The clock's running at this point. It's 4th down and 6. I understand that it's 4 or 5 yards out of Boswell's range, but I trust Boswell more to kick that field goal than I trust Mason Rudolph to throw a fucking completed pass for 5-6 yards to get the first down. I just do at that point, at the end of the game like that. I don't trust Arthur Smith's offensive play and scheme to make a play to get that 4th down. I don't. I rather would have seen at least Boswell attempt to try to kick the field goal. He had time to get himself settled because the clock was just running at like 30 seconds or something. I think he could at least had a better shot to make that field goal than to get the first down.
Yeah, I was on the other side of it. I think you got to go for it there just because of the range, and you have to think you can get 6 yards. I mean, I get just what you're saying, but they're going to probably give you a little bit of room in the middle. There's what was like 19 seconds left. That's that point, somewhere around there at least. You can get a first down. You're going to get into field goal range. If you get a first down, you bring Boswell at that point. I think you feel a lot more comfortable. You get to spike the ball. You get to get everything settled in. I think you just got to make that play. You have to get 6 yards there.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you have to. But the whole game, you could tell they just didn't trust the offense. So,
but I just don't think you make the kick. It's Chicago. I don't think you make the kick. I hear you. I don't think you can get it at that point. But let's see what we got here. Lee, you got at least one person that agrees with you. My own family.
Your own family.
Mike, what made Caleb Williams so tough to stop today?
The same thing that makes him tough to stop every week. He's done a nice job of extended plays without a whole lot of negativity. He's highly accurate, man. He spreads the ball around to a lot of people. He's a good player.
Defense on quick changes can come up with a big play. What do you attribute that to? And is that an area that I know you guys focus on that a lot?
As I mentioned, they made some plays.
As I mentioned, they made some plays. He
just didn't give a shit this week.
He didn't, not at all.
It makes me not want to give a shit either.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what are we even talking about if you're going to come out here and give us this? It just was lackluster. There's no other way to spin it. You're looking at a team that you're up 14-7. You're up 21-14. You have many leads in this game. 21-17 at half. I just don't understand why they just couldn't have that oomph. They ran the ball great.
There was nothing.
It just wasn't there. I'm not going to do even maybes. I was going to try to blame it on not having Aaron in there, but no, that's bullshit. There's no reason for this to be the way it is today. It's weird. I don't know.
How about his answer to the question? The guy said, you guys kick the field goal, you go up maybe 10 points.
I'm tired of that shit. Yeah, I'm so tired of those comments.
Yeah,
he always and he'll do the other way. He'll spin it. You got to get the points at that point.
Yeah.
Whatever decision he makes, he'll have some stupid saying to say.
Yeah, it's so
after the
dumb.
fact.
I don't get it. Like, why?
It's always gonna. It's one way or the other too. It literally. We could have that same scenario happen next week.
Yeah, exactly.
He kicks the field goal, and then after the game, he gets asked why he didn't go for it, and he'll say, "You got to just take the points at that point." It's
getting
for it. And it's every coach. It's not just him too. But I mean, and if you are honest, look what's going on with Narduzzi. He gets yelled at for being honest. The 1 week, the week on really a dumbass play, but then he gets called an idiot by everyone, and everyone thinks he's the worst coach in the world because he does screwed. So you're screwed one way or the other. I know, but
yeah.
Tomlin, it's just like I don't even.
He just like you said, he didn't care. He didn't care. There was no fire, and there was no fight in him today. There was nothing in him today. Him standing on the sideline and just how monotone he was and how he answered those questions. It's just he didn't care today. He did not care today.
Yeah.
There's no fight in this team, and there's no fight in him. It's like he's given up.
Yeah, they came out. The Bears got the ball first. 3 plays, 4 yards. Had to punt it out. Steelers get the ball back. 2 plays, 9 yards, ends in an interception on a really good play by the Bears defender there. But we did get the Steelers had a 9-yard run to start that drive. They had 2nd and 1, and then bam, interception there. Bears get the ball back, go 8 plays, 56 yards, and score a touchdown. The Steelers do respond on an 8-minute drive, 13 plays, 95 yards to make it 7-7. And then the next drive, the Bears get the ball, fumble it. Steelers recover, get a 14-7 lead at that point.
Yeah.
Then the next drive, they fumble again. And the Steelers get the ball back. They go 5 plays, 22 yards, and that's that 4th down play where they could have went up 10. They could have went up 17-7 at that point.
Yeah.
Instead, they get turned over on downs. The Bears come back from that, go 11 plays, 70 yards, make it 14-14. Once again, the Steelers are able to respond 7 plays, 80 yards to make it 21-14.
Yeah.
Bears get a field goal to end the half. So at halftime, the Steelers up 21-17. You're feeling good about it, I think.
Yeah.
I felt good about the Steelers' chances of winning the game at that point.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that the Steelers' defense was making a lot of big plays. Of course, we had that turnover of downs on that one play, but I thought the defense was playing well. I thought the offense was moving a little bit. The running game was definitely there. They were making some plays, and they were able to have a lead there at the half, and you're feeling good. Yeah, it's almost starting to look like a shootout at this point. At 21-17 at half. So it was looking pretty good. High hopes for the Steelers at this point.
Yeah, things unravel in the third quarter though. The Steelers start the quarter, go 6 plays, end up only getting 1 yard total on that drive to make it 20. The punt goes to the Bears. The Bears get the ball, go 5 plays, 60 yards, make it 24-21. That's the drive with the punt situation, I believe, right? Where the Steelers initially punt the ball down to the Bears, get them inside the 10. You go to commercial, you come back, you find out the penalty is on the Steelers, so we get a re-kick.
Yeah.
Kick is the field shifted probably 30 yards at that point. Bears do get the touchdown to the credit on 5 plays, 60 yards, make it 24-21. Steelers come punt, Bears punt on 2 3-and-outs. Steelers get the ball back. They fumble on the 3rd play of this drive. Bears go down the field right away. Not right away. 9 plays, 54 yards. They make it 31-21 Bears. Steelers do come back, but it takes 17 plays in almost 8 minutes, 73 yards to make it 31-28. At that point, we're looking at 6 minutes left in the game, I think.
Yeah.
And they stop the Bears on 3 plays. The drive's only 1:50. So we're looking at 31-28. Steelers got the ball with about 4.5 minutes left in the game. They run 6 plays. It cost them 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and they gain a total of 12 yards before punting on a 4th and 10-ish. I'm going to say it was.
Yeah.
The Bears get the ball back. They get stopped. Defense does step up at this point here. 3 plays, 3 yards. It takes 24 seconds off the clock. The Steelers get the ball back and go 7 plays, 33 yards, cannot get into field goal range. Right on the edge of it there would have been a 64-yard kick for Boswell there. We talked about that already. So the final score, 31-28. Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Chicago Bears in a game that they should have won.
Yeah.
In my eyes. No, maybe they're not the better team, but I thought they played in a way that was more conducive to winning today, is how I'll put it. But it did not end up that way, and they get the loss in a lackluster performance.
I mean, they should have won. They needed to win this game, and now they're tied with the Ravens. Like you said, the Ravens hold the lead right now in the division right now, and they're tied with them. And it's it's only going to get harder from here. It's easier for the Ravens in this direction for the rest of their schedule, and it's just getting harder for the Steelers at the end here of the schedule. So
Yeah,
you know,
Steelers remaining schedule is Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Browns, Ravens. The
Oh.
Ravens remaining schedule. Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Patriots, and Packers. So I mean, very easy stretch is ending. With today's game, so that does give us a little bit of hope. I honestly thought it was gonna be worse, but the Bengals are 3-8.
Yeah.
Maybe Burrow comes back and that changes things up. They do play Thursday on Thanksgiving. I'm assuming Burrow wants to play that day, and I think that's the Steelers' hope is that the Ravens can lose one of these games to the Bengals. They have Bengals, Steelers, Bengals as their next 3 games. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Ravens in that stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But they do end up with the Patriots and the Packers. So maybe there's a little more hope than I had thought. But they get to play the Steelers. We have to play the Ravens. I think the Steelers and Ravens are going to split their games. But if one can win and one can lose, it changes everything. Like Tomlin said, it looks like we're going to get Rodgers back next week. But it's the Bills. The Bills aren't playing that well.
It's the Bills.
They've played well against the Steelers lately.
Yeah.
I just said a mouthful. I'll go whichever way you want to go with, whatever you want to go with.
I just think that they need to watch a lot of film this week. They need to get some fire lit underneath them. So like that, the whole team and the coaches need a fire lit under them. They need to get a little more discipline because, of course, they lack discipline in this team. The standard is the standard. You know how it is. That's just what it is with this team. And we'll only see some motivation from Tomlin when they win. And they lose, he doesn't give a fuck. So it's going to be a tough game. We'll talk about it later this week, but it's going to be a tough game with this Bills. I just hope that they can figure something out coming down to the end of the stretch here, the end of the season with 5 or 6 weeks left in this season. So hopefully things turn around, but this was a game they should have won. They lost. Again, that's what they do. And we shall see what happens.
Yeah, the sky's not falling yet, but it's getting close, I think.
Yeah.
Even if you lose next week, it's not over, but it starts to get really, really, really scary for them.
Yep.
With another loss next week, you're going to go to 6-6. Wild card wise, let's see where we're at. I'm not overly confident that they can get a wild card here. They're currently eighth. The teams behind them are the Texans and Kansas City. They're both 6-5. Kansas City, you expect to turn it on here.
Yeah.
They're able to come back this week. Houston's played well on defense. They'll probably get CJ Stroud back. I don't know if that's a good thing for them there. Ahead of them, they got Jacksonville at 6-4. Maybe that's a team that falls off. So maybe you have a way to get in here, but it's not beautiful. It's not as good as it looked at some points in this season.
Yeah.
You could have buried the Ravens, and instead you brought them right back into this.
Yep, exactly.
It is what it is. You can't even say the Ravens are playing that great, but it won't even matter. Long term, but that's all I got for you, Lee. You
That's
got anything
all I
else?
got. No, I got nothing else. Just another disappointing loss by this team.
Steelers lose 31-28 in a game where they had a lot of shots of winning here, but they fall short.
They fell short is right. I'll see you.
Maybe next time.
Maybe.